Hey fam, how's it going? Speed Duel Bro here, and in today's video, we have the power of Clayman. Yes, Clayman is on his quest for Speed Duel glory. Let's get right to it. For the skill card, we have Fusion Party. For monster lineup, we have 3 Elemental Hero Clayman. And to assist him on his journey, we have 1 Elemental Hero Sparkman and 1 Burstinatrix. And then 1 Goddess with the Third Eye, and then 3 DD Warrior Lady. For spells, we have 3 Reinforcement of the Army, 2 Hammer Shot, and 1 Pulverization. And then for traps, we have 3 Wall of Disruption and 2 Spike Shield with Chain. And then for the extra deck, we have 2 Rampart Blaster, 2 Thunder Giant, 1 Plasma Vice, and 1 Dark Bright. How to win / strategies. Alright fam, so the way this deck plays is slow and steady wins the race, and defense is the best offense. So we're going to be utilizing Clayman's great defensive power. So let's say our opponent attacks our face down monster. We will immediately activate our trap cards, whether it's going to be Wall of Disruption or Spike Shield with Chain. Now, before we continue any further fam, why don't we review the trap card Spike Shield with Chain? I'm just going to assume that the fam and the community know what Wall of Disruption does, okay? It's a popular trap card. So anyways, Spike Shield with Chain, it reads, target 1 face-up monster on the field. Equip this card to that target. It gains 500 attack. If the equipped monster battles while in defense position, it gains defense equal to its attack during damage calculation only. Now fam, there is a key difference in terms of activating Spike Shield with Chain compared to Wall of Disruption. And the veteran Yu-Gi-Oh players most likely know this, but for the newer players, please pay attention to this detail. So anytime you activate a card that has anything to do with modifying stats, attack or defense, depending on how the text is worded, most of the time we'll be able to activate those modifying stat cards when we declare damage step, when the opponent attacks or whenever we attack. Okay? You still with me? I know it's getting a little technical, but here. So let's say we wanted to activate Spike Shield with Chain instead of Wall of Disruption, right? So here we go. The opponent will declare their attack, and then we flip our monster face up and then declare on the opponent damage step. And that's when we activate Spike Shield with Chain. And the reason why fam, especially the new fam to Speed Duels, the reason why we declare damage step is because Book of Moon can't touch us there. Don't ask me how or why it works that way. It's just been that way ever since the dawn of Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, sorta. Right, OGs? Right, veterans? But the point being is that when we're in the damage step and damage calculation part of the battle phase, nothing can touch us there. We have the opponent right where we want them. So, now that we've activated Spike Shield with Chain, it will increase Clayman's attack by 500, so it'll be at 1,300 attack, right? And due to Spike Shield with Chain, all those attack points will be transferred to Clayman's defense. And his defense is already at 2,000, a respectable 2,000. So in all total, Clayman's defense is going to jump up to 3,300. So if we're going to do the calculation right here, 3,300 minus 2,100, if my math is correct, that's 1,200 points of damage right off the bat. So what we're trying to do here, fam, is that we're trying to chip away at the opponent's life points little by little, or even in a big way, depending on how the field or whatever monster is going to be attacking us. And I'd like to point out that with Wall of Disruption, it's a little bit different. We can't declare damage step on this because it says so on the text itself. It reads, when an opponent's monster declares an attack. But either way, being able to reduce the opponent's monster's attack by 800 for each monster they control against a 2,000 defense wall, that's still very good. And now fam, let's reset the field a little bit and let me show you what I mean by slow and steady wins the race. So what I mean by that is, with all the monsters in this deck, I want you to set them face down always. First and foremost, set them face down, okay? Because when we have trap cards that reduce attack points, or even a trap card like Spike Shield with Chain that will severely increase our defense, these monsters here all become very formidable walls of defense, okay? So for the next example, let me do DD Warrior Lady. So let's say we set that down, right? Now, even though DD Warrior Lady has the capability to remove any monster that it interacts with, would I still recommend activating our trap cards? Yes, I would recommend it, because let me show you why. So let's say Cyber Dragon attacks our face down monster, which is DD Warrior Lady. We're gonna activate Wall of Disruption. So not only did DD Warrior Lady survive the battle interaction, the opponent took a little bit of life point damage. And now come our turn, we can just simply shift DD Warrior Lady into attack mode and destroy the Cyber Dragon. Now the reason why, fam, I would recommend this play and exhaust our trap cards is because the longer we can keep DD Warrior Lady on the field, the more pressure we put our opponent in, because everyone knows the greatness and the threat that DD Warrior Lady is, right? So that's why, fam, I would definitely recommend exhausting our trap cards as much as possible. More offensive pressure on the opponent. And just imagine if we had decided to activate Spike Shield with Chain instead. DD Warrior Lady's defense would have become 3,600, and now it has 2,000 attack. Like, that in itself could potentially be defeat for the opponent. So this is what I meant, fam, by slow and steady wins the race. We always want to set our monsters face down, because even the complementary monsters in this deck, they can become formidable walls of defense. And so as you can see, the strategy here is really, we are wearing down the opponent severely on their life points in a defensive manner. And to think, fam, that these monsters right here, when accompanied with these trap cards, are putting in so much work already. We haven't even fusion summoned. And luckily for us, DD Warrior Lady is one of those cards wherein it's threatening enough that it makes the opponent want to activate their back row cards, specifically Floodgate Trap Hole or Book of Moon. And should that happen, fam, that's perfectly fine, because DD Warrior Lady has now removed the opponent's back row, or essentially forced them to activate that back row. So Rampart Blaster and Thunder Giant can now go about their business worry-free. So as you can see, fam, we're gonna let Clayman and his friends take care of business or wear down the opponent first, so that when Rampart Blaster and Thunder Giant come out, it's pretty much a done deal. We've pretty much got this duel in the bag. And now let me show you some of my favorite plays with Rampart Blaster and Thunder Giant. So my favorite thing with Rampart Blaster is when it's equipped with Spike Shield with Chain, it becomes a 5,000 defense wall. So should the opponent have the nerve or the audacity to create something stronger than 2,500 defense, we're gonna be just fine, fam. Good luck to the opponent trying to climb over a 5,000 defense wall. And then here's another neat thing about Rampart Blaster. The fact that we can stay in defense position while attacking is also extremely key because of this tech card right here. It is Hammer Shot, and let's read it real quick. Destroy the one attack position monster on the field with the highest attack, your choice if tied. So the key text here being destroy the one attack position monster. So let's say we activated Hammer Shot, but the opponent Book of Moon their own monster so that they could save it. Well, that is unfortunate for us that the opponent can keep their monster, but here's the thing. We can keep ours too, because Rampart Blaster is in defense mode. How do you like them apples, huh? And the same thing goes for any of the monsters in this deck. You know, we can effectively do our damage while being in defense mode, so we can safely activate Hammer Shot. That's why I think in this deck, it's a particularly effective tech choice. Now let's move on to Thunder Giant. Okay, so now with Thunder Giant, let's say we had just fusion summoned it, right? But the opponent Book of Moon or even floodgated our Thunder Giant. So now the opponent is going to attack us with their Cyber Dragon. So why don't we just let that attack go through, but declare damage step and activate Spike Shield with Chain. So this will increase Thunder Giant's attack to 2900, and then thanks to Spike Shield with Chain, its attack will be transferred to its defense. So now Thunder Giant has now become a 4400 defense wall. And here's the extra bonus. The fact that Thunder Giant's attack is now at 2900, why don't we read its effect real quick. Once per turn, you can discard one card, then target one monster on the field with original attack less than the attack of this card. Destroy that target. So essentially, at 2900 attack, we can realistically destroy anything and everything. So Thunder Giant has now become a monster destruction generator with a 4400 defense wall. So yeah fam, I'm telling you, defense is really the best offense. Card analysis. The skill card Fusion Party, you already know what it does fam. It gives us access to the boss fusion monsters at any given time. Such an excellent skill card for this format. And then we play the 3 elemental hero Clayman because he is the star of the deck, and we are going to utilize his great defensive power to its maximum potential. And then we play 1 Sparkman and 1 Burstinatrix and 1 Goddess with the third eye. Now this right here fam, this just helps with the flexibility and capability of being able to fusion summon. And then we play the 3 DD Warrior Lady. Now this is kind of self-explanatory fam, but the fact that she has great base stats for a level 4 and she's a warrior, and that she does instant monster removal with any monster she interacts with, it's a no-brainer that she would be included in this deck. And then we play the 3 Reinforcement of the Army to just help call upon our Clayman or any other warrior in this deck at any given time. And then we play the 2 Hammer Shot, which I believe to be particularly effective tech in this deck because remember, we're doing most of our havoc or our damage on the opponent in a defensive manner. So our monsters stay safe in defense position when we activate this card. And even if the opponent should activate Book of Moon to save their own monster when we activate Hammer Shot, hey, at least we baited out the Book of Moon, which will leave us to be able to do whatever else that we need to do freely. And then we play the 1 Polymerization because we want to be able to fusion summon more than once. So why not? And realistically fam, in speed duels, fusion summoning twice is adequate enough. And then we play the 3 Wall of Disruption, excellent trap card to help utilize the defensive power of Clayman and the other monsters in this deck. And same goes for Spike Shield with Chain. Now some of you may be asking, why don't I play a 3rd copy of Spike Shield with Chain? Now the reason being for that fam is I wanted to keep the deck to 20, and as great as Spike Shield with Chain is, we need a monster to make it super effective, right? But at least with Wall of Disruption, we don't need a monster. And then we play the 2 Rampart Blaster and the 2 Thunder Giant. The reason why I decided to go 2 and 2 is because Clayman. We need Clayman to bring these guys out. And then we have the 1 Dark Bright and the 1 Plasma Vice. Now should things get a little risky or dangerous for us, well, at least we have access to it thanks to Sparkman and Goddess with the third eye. Alright, time for the moment of truth. Where does this deck rank on the power scale? In my humble opinion, this deck is semi-competitive. And the reason why I say it's semi-competitive, fam, is because the only thing that I feel that we're missing here is a draw engine. But with the great defensive capability that Clayman and this deck provides, we can definitely slowly and surely defeat the opponent, and we can definitely grind things out until things are in our favor. So remember fam, with this deck, slow and steady wins the race, or in this case, wins the duel. And defense is truly the best offense. And let me tell you a story of how this deck came to be. So the elemental heroes were having a meeting, right? And Clayman told the other heroes, hey, I'm done taking a back seat to y'all. I'm gonna go and carve out my own path and go on this quest to put some respect on my name. And I'm going with or without y'all. And so Sparkman and Burstinatrix, they recognized how serious Clayman was. And they told Clayman, alright Clay, We'll go with you and we'll assist you on this journey. And so Goddess with the Third Eye also heard about this, and she says she'll tag along too. And when DD Warrior Lady heard about Clayman's ambition and quest for Speed Duel glory, she said she wanted to witness it, Clayman's ascension to Speed Duel fame. And so that's how this deck came to be, fam. Clayman just wants you to put some respect on his name. So that's the deck, fam. If you enjoyed, please feel free to hit the like button. Helps me out a lot. And if you haven't already subscribed to me, your Speed Duel bro, you're more than welcome to subscribe, because two things. One, I always play to win, and I'll teach you how to win. And two, if you love Speed Duels, I'm sure you'll love me too. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.